Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we are talking about the law of assumption and how to use it. So if you're new to this channel and you want more videos like this, they're going to help you make the changes that you want to in your life. Hit that subscribe button, click that little bell. It's going to let you know when this fresh face will have a new video for you. And if you really like this video, hit that like button below. It really helps to spread this information, and I really appreciate it. And one last thing, an update basically. A new thing that I'm offering temporarily is actually the ability to work together one-on-one. I want to be here to help support you, to help you make the changes that you want in your life so that you can live a life that you love. So if you're interested in that, just hit that link below. So back to the video, the law of assumption and how you can use it. Well, if you are new to this idea of law of assumption, you might not have heard of Neville Goddard. Some of you have, some of you haven't. It's less about him and it's more about his teachings and the brilliant viewpoint in which he shared with this world. So the law of assumption, so often people hear about the law of attraction, but little about the law of assumption. And I believe a law of attraction is a big umbrella, and a lot of these other ideas are under it, and it's a supportive structure. All of these things are necessary, but learning and understanding them independently and individually really will help give you a better understanding of the whole law of attraction. And really, I have started to use the law of reflection instead of the law of attraction, because the law of attraction, in my opinion, basically is like you have to do something new. Then you start to do it, then you're going to attract it. If you're not attracting it, you're not quite doing it. I think that's where people can get caught unless you're really doing some work. So the law of reflection is just showing that no matter what you're doing right now, this is reflecting what I'm doing, right? If you're looking into a mirror, if you're just standing there waiting, the mirror is going to show just standing there waiting. If you're got a shirt that's all dirty or wrinkled, it's going to show a shirt that's dirty and wrinkled. If you're wearing something really nice, you're about to go on the town, the mirror is going to show you exactly that. So no matter what your state is, so how does the law of assumption play into this? Well, basically the law states that whatever you give permission and consent to be true about your life and about you and about your world, it's true. Now realize that it's anything that you give permission and consent to be true. That did not say that anything that is true that you consent to is true. It could be not true. You could think, oh man, I have no talent. I am not creative at all. I will never have a relationship. Every time I get close to somebody, they push me away. Every time I get an opportunity for money, somebody else gets picked above me or instead of me. These are all assumptions that potentially you or maybe someone you know are giving permission and consent to be true. They're not true. That is the perception that you have based on everything that's happened in your life from while you were still in your biological mother's womb until now. It's basically your life is a collection of different experiences. Experience, meaning. That's basically, as a human being, what you're doing. Because ultimately, you're trying to keep yourself safe. You have something in your head called your amygdala. And basically what that's doing is saying, okay, we know that what we've done the past 5 years is safe because we're still alive. We've interacted with these people, even though they might hurt us, even though we might be sad, even though we might not feel very satisfied. We are indeed still breathing. We are indeed getting fed. Our bodies are, for the most part, functioning at a decent level, and this is good. We should keep doing this for the rest of the time because it's safe, because we know we will live. So realizing that that's one part of your brain, what it's doing, looking to make sure that you're safe. That doesn't mean emotionally that you're getting your needs met. That only means physically you're still alive. And while that is very important, don't get me wrong here, being alive is good. Being alive is great. It is really step one. Understanding that emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, you have needs. You could have learned from that last trimester of your biological mother until now that you have to navigate in the world not getting your needs met. So one of the assumptions you might have plucked up along the way is that, you don't deserve to get your needs met, or that you don't even have any needs. That was what I thought. I thought, man, I don't have any needs. I'm pretty laid back. I'm low maintenance. I'm pretty laid back, yeah, and I do have needs in a variety of different ways, right? Like my boundaries as a human being, what I need to feel inspired and alive, friendship boundaries, relationship boundaries, family boundaries, all of that stuff. I do have them. I was just unaware that I did. I assumed, I gave permission and consent that no, I don't need a lot. I'm very low maintenance. Why? Because I was afraid to ask people for things, because I thought if I ask them, then they'll leave, or I'll be too high maintenance. I'll be too much for them, and then I won't get my needs met. Me thinking I wouldn't get my needs met, that was an assumption. If I ask somebody for something, if I express a need, they will reject me. That was an assumption. That was an assumption I lived my life on. That was just one assumption. Another assumption is that if somebody was in need, I needed to be a hero, and that's how I got my self-worth. And turns out that assumption's not right. I'm nobody's hero. I'm here to offer love and support to everybody. And I realized that I can never save someone, that I can offer love, and going past that point of support at a certain degree actually hurts me, and I can't do that. I can't be with me and be a hero in the way that I tried to be before. All of these are assumptions, that I needed to be a hero so that no one would leave me, that I needed to not say anything or people would leave me. So I had an assumption at a very deep level that I was going to be abandoned, and I needed to do what I did to be entertaining, to be loud, to be vivacious, to be a hero, to be supportive, to be helpful, or people are going to leave me. So underneath all of that is the energy. I'm having thoughts and I'm having feelings that people are going to leave me. So even though I was doing all these things, underneath all of that, I was sending out thoughts and then drawing that experience back to me through the assumption that I wasn't valuable, that I wasn't unworthy. So I was afraid that people were going to leave. So I sent that out and I drew it back, and I continued to get experiences based on the assumption that I wasn't worthy, based on the assumption that I wasn't valuable. And I would keep getting situations and experiences that were showing me, that were recreating that abandonment, which just continued to give proof or fortify that assumption. But it wasn't until I really started to say, okay, what is it that I believe? What is underneath all of this? Oh, I'm afraid I'm going to be abandoned. What am I assuming? What would I need to assume if I'm afraid this is going to happen? And that's really how you can maximize the power of the law of assumption. What is it in your life right now? What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that you won't have enough money? That you will get into a situation where you can't afford it, and what is it ultimately, that you won't be able to afford your home? Is it that in a situation in the romantic realm, is it that you're afraid that you'll never be able to find somebody? What is underneath that fear? I'm afraid that no one will ever want to be with me because I'm not good enough. I'm afraid that I can't find a job that will really provide for me financially because I don't feel like I'm good enough. I'm afraid that if I'm really myself and I put myself out there, no one's going to get it and I'll be rejected. So looking at all of these things and seeing that there's an assumption that's causing a fear, that fear is causing a behavior, and backtracking to say, oh my gosh, well, why is it that I feel not valuable? Well, when I was 8 years old, my grandma or my mom or my dad or my sister or my teacher did XYZ, said XYZ. I reasoned that I was not valuable, when really that whole entire experience, the only thing that showed was where that person was. And you continually living your life based on the assumptions and the reasoning that the childhood you did is basically means that you're living your life as an adult based on the reasoning of a child. And there's nothing wrong with those reasons that you came up with, that reasoning, those decisions, those interpretations. What it needs, though, is for your wisdom to be taken back to that re-reasoned, empowering you to make new assumptions so that you can step into your true power, that you are valuable, you're deserving, and you're worthy of everything that lives inside of you. Having that dream living out loud is what this world needs. No matter what it is, you deserve it. You deserve to live in that life, changing the assumptions, looking back into what behavior you are doing, why you are doing it, why you first felt that, when you first felt that. Reason on it. Come up with a new assumption. You give permission. You yield to. You give consent. You say, yes, this is true. I am worthy. And when you feel that on an unconscious level, that's when the reflection that you truly have deep inside yourself, you will begin to then see differently in the world. Your entire world, people, circumstances, situations will change because it's going to be reflecting back that higher value that you have of yourself. Your thoughts and your feelings will also change because they're being fed by your assumptions, by your core beliefs. And when that happens, what you're sending out, a new set of circumstances, and drawing back magnetically through your heart, your entire life will change. And you deserve to have that happen and live a life that you love. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, hit subscribe. If you haven't done so already, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one.